This is all about you and your take on what you own as your little piece of the world, because we're all own a little piece of it. If it's only that the area that we're standing on in our size 12 shoes or size 3 shoes if you're a woman, or a midget, or excuse me, a dwarf. Sorry about that. Very socially incorrect. I apologize to you people. It's very, oh, I did it again. You people. All of us. But see how we do? See how we make distinctions? And I don't even try to be that way. But boy, do you learn a lot that you shouldn't learn. I apologize to all of you sincerely, because that was pretty embarrassing for me. And I apologize to anyone that I've hurt for my honesty, except for the fact that it's in my heart, and my heart doesn't lie. So I know I'm not a bad person, and I'll never hurt anybody except by someone who feels that they don't want anybody close to them, or really emotionally close, or they're just not ready for this kind of a personality. It's too strong for them. At any rate, we'll go on from there. Let's get this tour underway. So here we go. Folks, you don't need to see my mug anymore. Let's turn it on the true star of this story, which is this wonderful 30-year-old house in suburban Pembroke Pines, Florida. Let me pan down. It's too big. You need me to be big, but you don't need the house to be big. There you go. And this house was in a new subdivision that showed a lot of promise, I thought, and I liked it. I really did. And then I went ahead and redesigned it to what the needs of a tropical paradise should be, when it's not even supposed to be this way. I fought the homeowners association for years because they didn't like my interpretation of what the tropics should be. They thought this is what the tropics should be, or this is what the tropics should be. Look down the street. Isn't that character? Oh my goodness gracious, is that boring. Wow, this could be California, could be Arizona, could be Texas, could be anywhere. They're trying to do a pseudo-Mediterranean look. I hate it. Hate it with a passion. The choice of queen palms on the street, which are 30 years old and have never grown any more than they are now. And then 2 big Washingtonia palms, like down the street here, which are so boring and such high maintenance. And they also will break off rather nicely if we ever did have a hurricane and do some really serious roof damage. But this is what you've got. So anybody who thinks this is wonderful, and this, by the way, is a foxtail that's not in too bad condition. Foxtail palm. They're starting to substitute this as an acceptable substitute for queen palms, but they're really not, because they're very manganese needy, and our soil is totally alkaline, and they can't pick up enough manganese to make them happy. So there you go. This is the idea of paradise. And now we're going to turn to my neighbor's yard. This is my idea of paradise. Who wins? Who's smart? I don't know. Who's smart? I come to think I am, but then again, I'm a little biased. So anyway, let's see what we got here. We fought over, Paul and I fought over who's a great arborist, but he doesn't necessarily have his wings yet in design. And he'll learn that. I'll give him some thoughts, because I'm going to die way before he is, so if he has to worry about me standing in his shadows, he won't have to worry about that too much longer, because he's 26 and I'm in my 60s, so it doesn't make any difference. So Paul, just chill out. Anyway, this is what by us having a little disagreement at first, he was going to do a lot more cleaning up in the front here, and I turned out I won by having it not done. And this is where my curb appeal is, folks. If this works out, this will draw people to the house. I think it's beautiful. Partner Brad says it's going to drive people away, it's too much work. I say the people that are going to want this probably will like gardening, or they're just going to probably have a good lawn crew and a good maintenance team take care of it, because if they don't want to bother with it, they're going to need to do this. But if you want to live in Hawaii and you can't, it's not a bad substitute, is it? Not really. Except I even took care of the flatness by bringing in a little bit of more of a height element into the garden in front by raising everything up with some stones and about, I don't know, several tons of river rock, mulch, sand. So yes, these trees actually like this ground. Their roots can go crazy here. Anyway, so this is where we had the standoff. I didn't want this to be cut, and if I didn't have a little bit of a difference of words with him, we probably would have had this chopped up, and I really would have been pissed. So I'm glad we didn't do that. And in the end, we'll see who's, you know, this is probably going to be a winner. Probably will win him some awards of design. Well, we go here, and now it gets worse, of course. I had to clean all of this up, but I didn't want to do it, and I was lazy, and that's my fault. He did exactly what he should have done as an arborist. He cleared out the brush. And now we've got some specimens that are worth looking at. And I apologize because, quite frankly, it looks better. There was too much crap in here. I was trying to do everything, and that wasn't such a great idea. Well, you got this wonderful African oil palm, which I should have never put in there, which was wedged in with all kinds of other trees, and now it's quite beautiful. And I think it's well, it's the second only one that's in this neighborhood. The other one is in the back of the house that I planted on the berm. But yeah, this is a gorgeous tree, and the people who own this house later will be very happy with it. Now, it doesn't look so horrible now because I hid what we pulled out of this area where the coconut and the African oil palm, Elaeus guinensis, is, with some potted palms that are going in my greenhouse in Alabama. So yeah, you've got a lot of greenery there, and it actually doesn't look so bad now because it's all along the. Actually, it's great for the plants. They're getting sun on all sides now, and they can really thrive. Plus, it's a little cooler in certain other areas. Now we're going across the garage, and we're looking at the shadier part. This gets afternoon sun, and we didn't touch this at all, other than he pruned 2 branches of the coconut palm, and I know he wanted to do a lot more. He took an African an African tulip tree off the front, which actually helps, and I don't think it needs very much more. I mean, it really is very nice. We still have to work on the logistics in the next few weeks, but again, we're talking curb appeal. We want to see what's here that people will enjoy. And look at the cycad that they stumble upon as they first come up the walkway, which will be worked on too. It's a little too narrow. I'm working on it. But you've got a wonderful shade garden, which is impossible to find here. We have one. And you've got, as you go up towards the walk, ignore the right side because it kind of sucks, but this is your entrance. This is what you will be enjoying as you come up the walkway. Looking pretty good. I mean, I like the narrow walk, but a lot of people won't like it probably. And this is the front curb appeal. I mean, that screams model if there ever was one. Actually quite beautiful. Got some cheap flag artworks that I put in with white tape up on the wall, and they really blend in well. Looks like some actual murals. But along with the Dracaena and the cardboard palm and the coconuts that are coming through, and the beautiful Canary Island / Robellini that Paul did a great job on, sitting there as its centerpiece of the yard. I mean, that's pretty nice. It looks like you got a lot of trunks going on here, but you know what? It's not bad. Not bad at all. You've got orchids that are growing naturally on the trees. Look at this incredible juxtaposition of orchids and on a horrible tababuya tree, which I would never tell people to enjoy because it's such a pain in the ass. But you do have, it's a beautiful furrowed bark, and it's great for being a host to just hold stuff. And this clump of orchids is about, for just a reference, about 5 feet, maybe almost a meter tall. 4 different varieties that just are so fastly clinging to that. Kind of shaped by the wind of the hurricane, pushing it closer to the trunk, but really very, very steadfast right now. You got Dendrobiums, Cataleas, Vandas, and Phalaenopsis all in the same clump, which is pretty neat. And you got some overgrown Chinese fan palms, Livistona chinensis, which are not really bad. I don't consider it a bad thing. It's just that it probably is I don't know, it might be a little bit of something we'll consider to change, but I'm not so sure I want to. And then we have our Robellinis, which have been very nicely pruned. They needed it, and I think they're okay. So we'll see where this all goes. But curb appeal is in the front here, and I think you got that pretty well. Like I said, as opposed to what everything else is outside this little rarefied world of mine. So now the horror starts, or what was perceived as horror. Remember, we have this gulf here now. We're going to redo this. My old landscaping buddy Victor Franco is coming over next week, and we're going to put some utility shrubs in, and I think they'll be fine for the average person to enjoy. They're going to be some Dipsis lutescens, Rica palm, golden butterfly palm, just up the spine of here, because we did make this lovely walkway, but it was so full of crap that it probably couldn't be enjoyed. So now I think the bulk of the efforts are going to be laid here. There's a couple of places that I think this would be the only area right now that has a lousy curb appeal, has no curb appeal. It sucks. And what we are going to do is make it a little bit more attractive for the people. We have a pretty good amount. I love the way they did the sea grape. I think it looks really good there, and I think they did a pretty good job here. But now we have the issues of a too large air conditioning unit, which is incredibly ugly. Now I don't know, we'll probably get cited by the homeowners association for that, so I'm thinking 3 Eureka's, 2 on the front, 1 on the side. That should be sufficient. We got to fix the tank up because it's really looking crappy. And then this area here, I'm thinking on the outer fringe to continue with some Eureka's, and then the side inside towards the window, which looks like crap now, probably some arbicolas, which are, give good color, very low maintenance. And you've got, you notice the undulation that you've got here. It's very interesting. And just ignore the bones here. It's just, we're talking basics. This is not something that I would consider attractive at all, but you've got trees, and you can work with that. And these trees are very well rooted and they're very healthy. It does accentuate the narrowness of this yard, which you didn't see before, but that has to be cleaned off, and Eureka's are going to go against that probably every 4 feet. There's all kinds of crap coming up here already. Not bad crap either. There's some nice palms coming through here. Those will be cultivated. We'll just spread mulch around them. So the forest will be a low forest for the new people, but they'll be back, and I think they'll know and like that once they see the advantages of that. All right? So here you got a lovely fishtail palm, not very well clean, and they left the royal palm frond, much to my chagrin, up there, but that's something that we'll deal with. Do you get marksmen? Do you get perfectionists here? Not necessarily, but at any rate, it's here. And instead of them whooping this, it could have been really manhandled badly. It actually looks pretty good. There was a lot of work to be done in here, and there's a lot of work still to be done in here, but Victor will finish this off a little bit. You got all kinds of wonder. Now you're into beauty. Now this is your curb appeal again. This is where you're going to get something that you'll be proud of. And I am. So you've got still the rainforest look intact, but in a more isolated area, which would give it a lot more chance to do well. Paul and his guys potted up a Pelagiodoxa Henriana, and it's looking pretty good. Although I need to water it because it's going to be neglected, and that's not good for it. I think I'll do that after I stop filming here. But they didn't do much in here at all, so you really have a lot more light coming through, and you also have a good rainforest look. So this is a winner. The front, remember, we saw the front, we liked it. This is a winner, and this still has the light, and it's cooler, way cooler back here. Oh, absolutely. Yep, way cooler back here. Hang on for a minute. Just gotta take a pee real quick. Yeah, just give it a little more time to. Oh, it's like a fountain. Yeah, it's like a fountain. Anyway, so there's the bird's eye view of what we have that's so beautiful. And we saved the treasure. Again, curb appeal. When they come into the house and they say, this living room is okay. Well, then they come, it's like when Dorothy opened the door when the house fell and she was in Oz and the scene went Technicolor. Well, it's just the way this will look to them. They don't have any idea that this is what they're going to fall into. Pretty special, actually. So there is, in a nutshell, what's going on. You have a Verschaffeltia splendida here. You have a Beccario Phoenix window pane, and all kinds of good stuff. A decent patch of heliconias that they did get a little of the debris out of there. Coconuts in the wild, kind of, and I mean, just nice. It's just nice. So my anger was, it was probably ill-founded when I was pissed that they did as much as they did on the sides, but it does kind of make sense. Now this side wasn't so bad. This is before we had our disagreement, because it really looks good from this side's perspective. You've got a clean look, but it still looks like it's varied, and it's not going to piss anybody off. It's very Coral Gables, very Boca Raton, very nice. You got live oaks, you got Arcanto Phoenix Alexandrias, you got a Reclinata Phoenix, which they forgot to clean. There's a lot of stuff they forgot to do, but there's some good stuff here too. And then you come to this side. Well, this is the side that we hate, and we always have. And then this is the shady side, but I don't like it that much as it was, and I had to say, well, how can we rehab this? Looks to me like this wall should have about 3 auricas only, and probably one between these 2 windows, and an arbicola in front of the windows, I'm thinking, and maybe a row of arbicolas on this side of this little walkway to hide the trunks, because I don't think I want to pull those up. I mean, there's one palm already coming back. Look at that. Unbelievable. Something that I was already furious about. But it's already got new wood on it, so I don't know what the deal with that is. But I don't think the coconuts are, but that's kind of neat. And I know that that's coming back. I don't think that's a star fruit. I think it's going to come back from the root. That is a root of a canistel. Where are we here? Yeah, canistel egg fruit. It's nice. It's never really done anything, but I think it's going to be okay. These potted plants, unbeknownst to them, are probably going to come back, so we'll just put some mulch and dirt around them. Here is some rhaphis. You know they're coming back, and they are already probably starting to. I just haven't noticed yet. Probably make sure that these things get enough water so they do give us the advantage of a little bit of irrigation. I might put that on as I leave. But yeah, this is not as disastrous as I would have claimed it to be. And I wasn't too strong when I said to Paul I hated it. And I do hate it. Why would I like it? Because it's not at all what I had envisaged. But it's gonna be fine.